I have a copy of your CD there, tribute to little Johnny Taylor. Who is Johnny Taylor, and why did you produce that tribute CD to him? And who wrote the songs for that?
Well, little Johnny Taylor was a guy I knew about, because I thought he was an awesome singer. He sang like a soul blues, and he was a hard blues singer too. He really, really good, and I had all his records and or CDs or whatever, and found out he was playing over in Rochester, a place called the BK Lounge. It was Rochester, New York. He was really, easy to talk to. We went backstage, talked to him, and met him, and got along pretty good with him. I was telling him I was playing with Larry Davis, and they lived in the same state. They knew each other well from the past, and they lived right around Little Rock area. So that was pretty cool. And I told him I'd play guitar, and so we, exchanged numbers, and we talked on the phone all the time and stuff. And I wanted to put a band together and back him up sometime, and bring him up to New York, because he mostly played in the thing called the Chitlin circuit for black audiences. He never really played to any white clubs at all, really. It was just, he was kind of like underground as far as that's concerned, But the people in Europe, knew of him well, and they wanted to bring him over there also. It's another story. So anyway, as we continued our friendship, we had talked seriously about getting some things happening, but in the early 2000s, his health was getting bad, and he passed away. I think it was 2002 or 4. I kind of forgot about that date exactly, but I decided to make a tribute album to him and just record his songs. It's kind of unfinished business.
Continuing the tradition.
Really good doing his music,
Yeah. That's interesting. And I noticed you also have produced a number of other CDs, like Deep Downtown, I've Been Drifting from Door to Door, and a few others. Are there any good stories to go with that and with them, or which ones do you like the best?
Well, I started out with 98, 99 area. The first one we did was called Raw Blues, and a couple of the guys I was playing with, drummer was pretty steeped in blues, but he was kind of a punky, kind of raw drummer, just a banger, but he had good timing, good shuffle. Bass player was a rock bass player. I'd basically teach him the blues format, 1-4-5. He could play, but he wasn't familiar with playing blues. So basically, I had a punk rock bass player and a drummer that could play blues, and he was a hard hitter. So it really ended up sounding very, with what I was doing, it sounded like a garage punk blues thing, And so we recorded, original stuff, and we were recording on a tape deck, cassette tape, 4-track in my house, and my friend had an 8-track. He had better equipment, and so we did that type of recording, just playing live in a room, overdubbing the vocals. And we had one cut on there that was done at Syracuse University for a student. He wanted to record live to DAT, a DAT tape. So we did one tape just like that, one song, just live in the studio. So that was kind of the funnest thing to do, because we were so hands-on with it, and people really liked it. They played it a lot in Europe, and A lot of people dug that one. So then after that, with those guys, I did another thing called Self-Destruction Live. I think I released that in 2002 or 4. Something like that. And then I did a couple things. I just recorded just for the stage. I did some as a two-piece. I was playing a guitar and drums. One called Mohawk Stomp, and one called Grits and Soul. And that kind of continued on with a little bit of that, home recording and kind of nasty blues rock stuff that I was doing at the time. Then we went into a studio with the CD you were talking about, the
well, Johnny Taylor?
Deep Downtown.
Oh, Deep Downtown.
Yeah. Deep Downtown was something. We had a decent studio, but it was another home kind of guy. Guy had his own home studio. I brought in some different players for that. I brought a bass player in from Detroit that played with me with Larry Davis, named James Cloyd, and a drummer from New York, a girl drummer from New York. I forgot her name right offhand right now. So we had a couple rock tunes on there, and we had a couple straight ahead blues tunes, but it was kind of I would just say it was a regular blues rock record, and it had some good songs on there. That one's still up for sale on cdbaby.com if people are interested in listening to it.
I saw it there.
Check it out. After that, I did one called a year or so later, I did a thing called Drifting from Door to Door. That's another one that's on CD Baby there. That was back in the same studio with a couple different musicians. We had to add a horn player on a few tunes just for just trying different things. It had a little bit of different sound than the other one. And then after that, that's when I did the Little Johnny Taylor one. I did that one in 2012.
RF from Indigenous Nation.